Now, put on your fire retardant suits because I'm going to light a massive, massive fire that on a topic no one else will touch, no one else will take this topic, where we're about to take it right here on Fearless because we get to be fearless. Carmichael, opened Tuesday's Golden Globes Award by telling a half-truth or half of a lie, depending on your perspective. Carmichael said, welcome to the 80th Annual Golden Globe Awards. I am your host, Gerard Carmichael. Sure. And I'll tell you why I'm here. I'm here because I'm black. In my opinion, that's a lie. Carmichael hosted the celebration of movies and televisions because he's gay. His skin color was the approved justification for handing the hosting gig to a 35-year-old celebrity most people do not know. But the real purpose was to reinforce Hollywood's preference for the feminization of American culture and to blunt criticism of its agenda by preemptively framing any pushback as racist. So Carmichael took the stage and blasted the theme of race, racism, and white supremacy. He's a malleable tool. No masculine, heterosexual man would voluntarily emasculate himself in front of millions of TV viewers. A $500,000 paycheck wouldn't compel me to do what Carmichael did Tuesday night. He told the world he was unqualified for the job the corrupt Hollywood Foreign Press Association gave him. The HFPA puts on the Golden Globes. Here's what Carmichael went on to say. This show, the Golden Globe Awards, did not air last year because the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which I don't say they were racist or racist organization, but they didn't have a single black member until George Floyd died. So do with that information what you will. I'll tell you how I got here, why I'm here on the stage with you guys tonight. He then went on to say, 1 minute you're making mint tea at home, the next you're being asked to be the black face of an embattled white organization. Life really comes at you fast, you know. No, that's not what happened. Carmichael is not the black face of a white organization. He's a soldier in the alphabet mafia takeover of American culture. That's the whole truth, the real uncomfortable truth that all of America is afraid to address. The LGBTQ plus silent P movement controls popular culture, our schools, religious institutions, social media, the sports world, and politics. The silent P, which stands for both perversion and pedophilia, is the alphabet mafia's superpower. The silent P powers the drag queen groomers at our elementary schools. The silent P is the reason Jeffrey Epstein and Giselle Maxwell can be jailed for running a child sex trafficking organization without being forced to publicly name their clients. The silent P is why no one in the mainstream media is interested in the fact President Biden's daughter claims her dad showered with her when she was a child. The silent P is all powerful. The silent P is the glue to the shadow government ruling America. Now let's get really uncomfortable. Why is the LGBTQ plus silent P movement partnered with BLM? Why have the LGBTQ and Black Lives Matter become the new peanut butter and jelly? Because pedophilia and perversion run amok in deconstructed families and communities. A lack of proper two-parent, mama and daddy adult supervision fertilizes sexual misconduct. Let me repeat that. I want the back of the room and the dumbest people watching this show, or whoever you send this to get exactly what I'm saying. Sexual misconduct runs amok in deconstructed families. If you have families where there are no dads, and grandmama and granddaddy and aunties and uncles are raising other people's children, and your kids are just left to run wild, unsupervised, that's where sexual misconduct takes root. That's why black people have become the new gay people. That's an uncomfortable truth that people don't want to talk about, but it's a fact. Just home from jail, uncles and cousins wreak havoc among unsupervised children. Unmarried, lonely, directionless women wreak havoc among unsupervised young boys. Think it through. We'll wait for a moment. I want you to think about what I'm saying, the reality of what I'm saying, what I've seen with my own eyes. You got communities overrun with guys that run in and out of prisons and jails. And then you got kids being raised in these communities where the parents, many of them, are either non-existent, too busy off working, or not really committed to their kids, and their uncle or cousin comes home from jail and he's left to babysit or be around your young children. That's how SHIT happens to your kids. When your communities are overrun with unmarried, directionless, lonely women looking for affection, looking for direction. That's how young 12, 13, and 14-year-old boys get sexualized by 20 and 21 and 23 and 30-year-old and 40-year-old women. This is the reality in our communities. You can turn your head and pretend like it doesn't exist. Al Sharpton, ain't nobody gonna talk about it. Your minister won't talk about it, but it's a reality that you're dealing with. And you wonder why our children are a hot mess. You wonder why our young boys are running around flaming everywhere. The destruction of traditional marital roles has turned America into a sexual petri dish. While both parents pursue careers, because see, I ain't just talking about poor black folks or even poor white folks. I'm talking about those of you out in the suburbs chasing a check, both of you. We've turned raising kids and developing kids into a side hustle, a second job or a third job, a task left to school teachers or PlayStation or Nintendo or Twitter or Facebook or Netflix. Rather than correct our error, the alphabet mafia is normalizing the dysfunction. A heterosexual, God-fearing black man in Hollywood is a dinosaur 10 years from extinction. The heterosexual, God-fearing white man has about 15 years left. The alphabet mafia is winning in a landslide. Black elites are its co-conspirators. The black media hailed Carmichael's monologue and selection as host as historic. We're so filled with racial idolatry, we can't see our role in a satanic plot. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association has a long history of corruption. 25 years ago, the Washington Post exposed the organization's unethical policies that included financial payoffs, payola, and expensive gifts to its 87 members. In 2021, riding the George Floyd racial grifting wave, the Los Angeles Times repeated much of the Washington Post's old reporting and added in the fact the HFPA had no black members at the time. Is that fact really all that surprising? Think this through. How many black people cover American movies and television for foreign countries? Are we shocked? Leroy and LaQuisha Washington don't work for the Hong Kong Gazette? Are we shocked about that? Oh, but the solution. add black members to the HFPA. 6 black people joined the FHPA mob. One of the new members is Kelly Carter, a writer for ESPN's Andscape, a ridiculously named website that covers sports and culture. ESPN is based in Bristol, Connecticut. ESPN is not the foreign press. Stephen Hill, a black man, was named producer of the Golden Globes, and Carmichael was named the show's host. My point is, black elites have no interest in correcting corruption. They only seek inclusion in that corruption. So congrats to Carter, Hill, and Carmichael for joining the Klan. The celebration of this historic racial progress fits with the same mentality that revels in black people calling each other the N-word. We don't want to end anti-black racism. We want to profit from it. Late in his monologue, Carmichael talked about a meeting the FHPA wanted him to attend. He refused, cracking, joking, "They're gonna fire me? They haven't had a black host in 79 years. They're gonna fire the first one? I'm unfireable." That ain't true either. They're not going to fire an alphabet soldier. Carmichael's skin color is part of their deception. His real value is derived from his sexual preference. His sexual preference guarantees he will go along with the silent P agenda. He's not alone. Every last one of us who have diminished the importance of family, de-emphasized the priority of raising kids, and compromised our biblical values for popularity has made the exact same choice and mistake as Gerard Carmichael. I'm not letting myself off the hook. I'm not letting any of you off the hook. We've all played a role in empowering the silent P. You abandon your family, you abandon God's natural order, you abandon the roles designed for the development of kids. This is the price we're all paying. The silent P, the perverts and the pedophiles, control America. That's why Gerard Carmichael, a comedian most people haven't heard of, that man stood up on a stage in front of millions of Americans and told, "I ain't even qualified. They just gave me this job because I'm black."